Speaking of the Bills, we're gonna get into our weekly preview for next week. We have the Vikings going to Buffalo, and they're versing the Bills. The Bills are the -7.5 favorite right now. Um, I see this playing out. The Bills just came off of a big loss against the Jets last week. Um, and the Vikings, although their record is what it is, they seem to just be getting past these teams. And Buffalo is not a pushover team where it's like, I mean, they did lose to the Jets, but the Jets are also a great team.
Yeah, this seems
So,
like a game where both teams kind of get brought back to earth, right? The Bills get another win here. The Vikings take another loss. They remain one of the better teams, but the Bills are a team that you can see the Vikings losing to. The game is in Buffalo, so they have the home field advantage there. And look, coming off a tough loss, these guys are going to be motivated to get things done over there at the Bills organization. And look, we talked about Kirk Cousins and his prime time problems. This isn't necessarily a prime time game, but
but it's a big time
it's going to
game.
have a big time, prime time type of spotlight on it. And yeah, look, the Bills are the better team here. Um, yeah, did they struggle against the Jets? Sure. They kind of let the game closer than they needed to be, and then late, the Jets were able to come up with some turnovers and get to the quarterback and things of that nature. But I would like the Bills to stay focused here. I think they'll be able to pull out a win, and a much needed win for them as they attempt to continue on as one of the best teams in football. The Vikings have the second best record in the league. Only team with a better record is the Eagles. The Vikings are the lone 7-1 team. Vikings, take another loss here, but they stay in pretty good position to win their division and make a playoff run. Um, but yeah, I think the Bills all around team, right? Offensively can put up points, defensively can stop you. I think this is a type of game where Kirk Cousins maybe he throws a few turnovers and the Bills are able to, you know, take a win here and get back on track.
Right. So the next game that we have is the Seahawks versus the Bucks. The Bucks are the -1.5 favorite. Um, I don't get it. The Bucks are obviously the favorite because they're at home and they just came off of a win and everybody expects the Bucks to get back on track. Everybody's kind of expecting Tom Brady to kind of get back into that championship kind of mode. Especially late in the season. It is November. This is when real football starts to be played. But how many times are the Seahawks going to be an underdog? How many times are they going to be counted out? The Seahawks just came off of just came off of a win where they were underdog against a Cardinals team that wasn't like they're not horrible, but it's like if I was to match up the Cardinals versus the Bucks, I probably wouldn't be too against taking the Cardinals over the Bucks with the way that their offense is. Like the Bucks struggle to put up points, which is insane to me. But again, the Seahawks, they have firepower. I mean, they're not one of like I'm not going to talk about the Seahawks like they're the Bills or like they're the Chiefs or a team like that, but they sure as hell put up just as many points as them in some cases, and it's like the Bucks struggle to do so. So I mean, this will be an interesting game. I see Tom Brady struggling again. The Seahawks have a great secondary, and we'll see what happens. But if I'm betting on this game, I'd probably actually go with the Seahawks again.
Yeah, this one's a tough one. I can see why the Bucks are the favorite here, and the reason is that the Bucks have one of the best run defenses in the league, and Seattle's a team that is very run heavy in their offense. So if you can kind of neutralize their run game, I think that can pose a lot of problems for the Seahawks, and I think that could bring back you know maybe some a performance like people might have expected from Geno Smith before this year in terms of how he would play. You could kind of force Geno Smith to be more one dimensional and have to, if you force Geno Smith to have to beat you with his arm the whole game, I think that can pose some trouble. So I can see why the Bucks are favored here, being the home team as well, and coming off that win against the Rams. It kind of seems like the Bucks are a team that one week they're going to come out and the offense will just click for them and they'll be able to, put up some points. So,
Yeah.
will it be this week? I don't know, but yeah, it'll certainly be interesting to see. Like I said, the Bucks with their great run defense going up against the Seahawks offense. We know they've been able to take advantage and put up points, but it is all based off of their run game. They're able to run, throw it deep down the field, run some play action, and defensively, like you said, their secondary. Some young guys on there, but they've stepped up. They're able to force turnovers, things like that. So yeah, should be a fun matchup, and one that will be important for both teams, right? The Bucks trying to get back on track in terms of getting into the playoff race, and the Seahawks trying to stay as the lone leader in their division,
Right.
and really run away with it and make sure they win out that in terms of winning that division and things of that nature. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. If I was to lean one way or the other, I'd probably lean the Bucks just off of expecting that they're due for a good offensive performance at some point.
Right.
Will it be this week? It might not, but I think they're gonna have one of those games at some point sooner than later.
Yeah, I think they will as well. So the next game that we're going to get into is the Chargers versus the 49ers. The 49ers are the -6.5 favorite. They're playing at home. That's most likely why. Interesting game, being that I feel like these teams are very evenly matched up. The Chargers, they've struggled offensively as well sometimes, and they struggled defensively. They tend to let teams kind of get back into the game, and the 49ers are kind of like a team that you can't really let that happen to, because they'll just run the clock out. They'll just bleed the clock, and they run the ball effectively. Obviously, we've seen with the addition of Christian McCaffrey, and even prior to him with Jeff Wilson, they were able to have a consistent run game. So it'll this is kind of like, I can't really call this game. I mean, this game could really go either way. This probably would be a game I'd stay away from when it comes to parlays, because I don't know how the hell it could go. It could go one way or the other. Like, one team can blow out the other, or and we've seen how the 49ers play at home. They play great at Levi Stadium. And on top of that, it's really it's really hard to just play against them when you're behind. So I mean, we'll see what kind of transpires with this game, really.
Yeah, this game, you know, they're somewhat evenly matched teams in terms of, I guess, what you could expect from them talent wise, and but they, very different type of teams. Chargers obviously more of a team that can air it out, use Austin Eckler in a variety of ways. They are also dealing with injuries. I mean, Keenan Allen's can't stay on the field this year. We had Mike Williams even out last week against the Falcons. They still find a way to win without their top two receivers against the Falcons. They had to come out and come back late to get that win. And the 49ers, solid defensive team. They like to run the ball. But, I kind of look at this game how I looked at the 49ers and Rams games, in that, the Seahawks, the 49ers have one of the better pass defenses in the league. So if you can shut that down for a team that likes to throw the ball a lot,
Nah.
could pose lots of problems. Even more so though in this game, the 49ers are they the number one rushing team in the league? No, they're middle of the pack, but we know yards wise, sure, but they're going to pound the rock regardless. And now with McCaffrey there, a bigger weapon in terms of running the ball efficiently, but also getting out and making plays. Whether it's screens, short passes, even getting down the field and catching some balls. So, um, I think I would probably lean the 49ers here. They're at home, but they're going to be able to run the ball against a Chargers defense that's one of the worst run defenses in the league.
Right.
That's the other story here is okay, how are the Chargers going to be able to get the 49ers off the field? And this could be a game similar to um, how we saw recently with the Browns and the who was that playing? What was it, like a Thursday night or a Monday night game? And they just completely ran the ball with Nick Chubb. Oh, the Bengals.
Browns and Bengals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be an outcome like that where the Browns just hold the ball all game, run the ball on defense. The other team comes out, they're not able to move it. I can see this game, going like that. This is a 6.5 point spread with a game like that. Similar to how we talked about with the Chiefs and the Titans. Some of these teams with explosive passing offenses can put up points in a hurry. So the 6.5 point spread has potentially won't hold if the Chargers are able to put up points, or the Chargers could outright win if they could just get up early. Once you get up early,
It's kind of hard to.
yeah, it's hard to
really
climb
come
climb back into a game with the running the ball a lot. But yeah, I think smart money here is on the Niners. And yeah, I expect them to come out, run the ball, play good defense, limit possessions for the Chargers, and kind of really dominate the time of possessions, rushing yards. And look, I don't even know what the status is with Mike Williams, but they better hope they have him.
Ready.
They have him because yeah, they without both their top two receivers, because I'm sure Keenan Allen is
Gonna be out
doubtful
again.
again to play. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough time for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, so we'll see again what happens. I think Mike Williams and Keenan Allen is a key factor.